Unit 7, Lesson 1 Trust in the Process. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conflict Resolution and Peacemaking, the class that teaches you how to manage interpersonal conflict and drama for yourself and others. I'm your instructor, David Lowry. Welcome to a new unit of study. This is where we discuss specific methods of peacemaking and mediation. This is a practical unit, and we hope you'll be able to use the things you learn in your everyday life. Specifically, we will discuss a method for resolving personal conflict and overview a 6-step mediation process. Our first mediation practice assignment gave you information on preparing for a mediation. In this unit, we'll discuss the rest of the steps involved. But before we cover these steps, we need to talk about the processes involved in mediation and solving personal conflicts. There are definite steps that we follow. Can you actually use what we've been teaching? In my early days of peacemaking, I asked a mentor if the knowledge and skills they were teaching me would actually work in resolving complex problems. While I enjoyed all the peacemaking theory I was learning, it was hard to understand how I might practically use all of this information and resolve a dispute. The answer he provided me has stayed with me throughout the years. He said, I trust the process more than I trust myself or the things that I know. The more I learn about peacemaking, the more I understand the truth of that statement. Instincts versus process. Most people don't have a specific process in mind as they try to solve interpersonal drama and conflicts. They hope for the best and rely upon their past successes and intuition. Many times, depending upon the complexity of the situation, this spontaneous approach is enough to produce success. Victories aside, this is not the same as working with an established process. Our instincts are not enough. In the beginning, peacemakers may be attracted to conflict resolution and mediation because they have previous experiences in solving problems and offering reliable counsel. In many instances, there is little doubt that a mediator might be able to suggest and potentially solve a set of issues placed before them, if for no other reason than they are more objective and not emotionally caught in the dispute. Then, too, many peacemakers have a lot of training and education. But as wise and talented as a mediator may be, a peacemaker's goal is never to solve other people's problems for them. The truth is this: peacemakers don't solve problems. People do. Rather than relying on our knowledge and offering suggestions and solutions, the job of a peacemaker is to manage a mediation process that helps people discover solutions that work best for them. Again, peacemakers don't tell people what to do. They lead a process that allows participants to make decisions for themselves. The importance of processes or planned procedures are how peacemakers put their knowledge to work. In this sense, we are like medical doctors who select a protocol or a set of tried and true methods that address a specific medical problem. We, too, must place our trust in appropriate peacemaking processes. Trusting in a process differs from trying to persuade or control what others think, say, or do. In the beginning, it can be scary for peacemakers to relinquish their natural giftings of advice and problem solving and rely on a process where they have little or no control over others and certainly no guarantees of success. These concerns are normal and natural. As important as personal experience and knowledge of peacemaking may be, it is even more critical that peacemakers and mediators rely upon processes that channel their knowledge and skills so that participants have their best chance of success. Trust the process. Why do peacemakers rely on processes that allow others to find solutions to their problems instead of depending upon their natural skills and abilities for solving problems? It's because peacemakers who have gone before us have learned techniques that we can use successfully. Processes serve as a roadmap. It lets us know about the steps we must follow to resolve a problem successfully. Methods aren't infallible, but they do provide guidance when facing stressful situations. So what is a process? A mediation process is a specialized set of procedures designed to help participants in conflict discover their best hopes for success. But what does it mean to trust in the process? It means trusting in the elements that make up the process as much as trusting in the mechanisms of the process itself. So let's talk about some of these elements embedded in the peacemaking process that can help us reconcile conflicts. These include 1. A trust in the neutrality of third parties to solve problems. 2. A belief that ordinary people can solve their problems. 3. It's a trust that relational processes lead to mutually acceptable solutions. Number 4, we trust that understanding happens when we give everyone an equal voice and place at the table. It also means that when we do this, we can arrive at reasonable solutions. Number 5, we trust in the power of vulnerability. Let's look at the first one, a trust in neutrality. As a neutral third party, the mediator has much to offer those caught in disputes. They are not captive to emotional energies or attached to one point of view over another. Objectivity allows the mediator to hear all points of view. An objective third party can be very influential in getting others to cooperate and solve a problem. We can trust that ordinary people can solve their problems. Mediation processes are premised on the idea that given the right circumstances, ordinary people can fully solve their problems. Admittedly, some people's solutions may need more sophistication and elegance, but they represent the right solution for that group. We also trust that relational processes lead to solutions. One of the reasons that mediation works so well is that peacemakers rely on relational communicative approaches to assist those in conflict. They listen reflectively and model compassion. They work hard to reframe and detoxify negative language filled with emotional charge. Peacemakers can be effective in stopping abusive communications between participants. Instead, they offer encouragement and praise for their courage and willingness to participate in a mediation process. Peacemakers also help reduce participant reactivity. They allow everyone to focus exclusively on problem solving. All of these things and more have the additive effect of bringing people together and working towards cooperative solutions. We trust in the power of giving everyone an equal voice. The peacemaking process allows each person to lay out their case and have their say in a formal setting. For many, this may be the first time someone has actually listened carefully to their point of view. If we think of conflict as a giant balloon filled with anger and negativity, giving people an equal chance to voice their concerns is an excellent way to slowly deflate the balloon. As peacemakers place each person's narrative on an equal footing, it models the concept of equality, that everyone has a right to speak and be heard and be shown proper respect. And finally, we trust in the power of vulnerability. The peacemaking process seeks to create safe environments to express needs and concerns. By clearing away emotionality, the peacemaker sets a stage for participants to discuss issues and explain their importance. In a safe setting, vulnerability allows all concerned to be authentic instead of guarded. As people get to know one another, they usually show more empathy and compassion, which often causes people to work harder towards finding a mutually agreeable solution. As we've discussed earlier, peacemaking is a lifestyle that takes time to develop. To become proficient, one must be willing to study and practice a little every day. Today, we have introduced the importance of process in peacemaking. Rather than relying on advice giving, peacemakers follow procedures that have a proven track record in resolving conflicts and drama successfully. In our next podcast, we will introduce a process called the direct approach. We thank you for listening to today's podcast and encourage you to download a copy of this program's transcript so that you might better complete a short quiz over today's presentation.